Pressing all night. You're absolutely right. And also the fact getting fatter doesn't help. Like when I fly, I hate that feeling pressing on my bladder. I always wear sweatpants and no underwear when I fly. And it's not to be creepy. It's because this way I feel like I'm not as confined as I was. I piss constantly. So the fact that I can go for however long we've been talking without peeing. Every time I do Rogan, I got to pee at least twice.
Oh, yeah. It's so hard in there.
Yeah, but I'll always just go, I got to piss. And usually he does too. So it's not a big deal. But like sometimes you just talk right through it and you're like, I have to go to the bathroom. What am I doing?
Oh, when you're riding the bag, when you're sleeping at night and you have to pee and you don't get up.
Yep.
That mesmerizing, dark thing you do. You're like, I'm just going to lay here.
Have you ever wet the bed as an adult?
Oh, no. As a kid, I wet the bed. I wet the bed. I was probably 27.
I wet once. Last time I did... No, I've done it more recently than that. I've done it since my wife has been there too. A few times I've wet the bed.
Yeah.
But I don't care. I don't feel bad. Sam used to think I was crazy. But I'm like, it happens once in a while.
Yeah,
I pee a lot.
You sleep every night and you pee every day. You don't think they're going to cross paths once in a while?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like two ships passing in the once in a while, they meet.
Yeah, you think it's crazy?
Yeah, once in a while you're asleep and you have to piss and you're like, no, and you dream about being in a pool, you dream about it being in the ocean, and you wake up and there's urine on you. And I go right back to sleep. I'll throw a towel on it, of course.
Yeah.
I'm not an animal.
Oh, I'll put a little sawdust on it.
Yeah, a little something, and then I'll lay into it. Yeah,
Oh, yeah. But I remember as a kid, I was so scared going to bed that I had to do all these checks and balances in my room because I didn't realize why I wet the bed for so long. And it wasn't until like about 6 months ago I was remembering, oh, dude, well, when you went to bed every night, you would have to like open a door, look in a closet, look at a certain way, lean something against the door on the inside, then on the outside, you'd have to like look at certain, it was no joke. It was probably a 13-minute process every night.
what are you afraid of?
I was just afraid of like people getting in from outdoors. I was afraid of like killers, murders, just these hypothetical kind of boogeymen, you know? And we lived in like a kind of scary neighborhood. So I was just scared of all that. But I remember like, dude, no wonder you slept in fucking crazy fear. I'd fall asleep like this so something couldn't cut my throat, I remember.
Really?
And it was so funny. I forgot about this, but for years I did that. And I was like, dude, no wonder
With your hands, you'd sleep like that?
Yeah, I would sleep like that because I didn't want something to cut my throat. I wanted to cut my hand first so I would know.
Right, yeah, of course.
And I don't know what made me so scared.
Although if somebody had the wherewithal to get in with a knife, they could have just taken a feather and tickled your nose, and then you would have went like that, and then they could have fucking just sliced the jugular. There's ways around that.
Yeah, I didn't think ahead.
Do you sleep on your back? I can't sleep on my back.
No, that's crazy.
Oh, you lay on your side like that?
I'll lay on my side.
Yeah, okay. That I can do.
That I feel like is okay. I wanted to talk about Kill Tony. You've been labeled by some as one of the best Kill Tony guests, which is kind of rare because they hate everybody, kind of.
They do, yeah. They're like old O&A fans too. They're just animals.
Yeah, they're animals.
They hate everyone. But I think I love doing that show. Like,
you did the Garden, yeah?
I did. Yeah, it was like a 5 or 6 minute stand up set.
That's cool. It's tough to do there.
It is a different energy, man. And I did it last year, but they didn't film it they just kind of shot it for clips. But when you're doing the panel, I would rather, like at the mothership, I've done the panel a lot. And I always like to give if I can give the comics a bit of advice, I try to, because a lot of those guys are really terrible and a lot of them are really good, but they're just raw. And as a new comic, man, I was so fucking easily wounded that if someone like made it seem like I really had nothing, I probably would have quit. So I always try to like fuck around, and if I can say something that helps them, I try to.
That's a good point. Yeah, I think I remember now when you said that. I remember like one of the first nights I ever did comedy, or maybe the third or fourth time. Like I started like down in New Orleans, and Mark Norman was there, Dane Fauché, a couple some local guys, Scotland Green, some different comedians down there, and but I remember the bartender said, "Hey man, you did a good job," and just something like that little kept me coming back for the next 2 months, you know?
Yeah, because somebody who's in the know, somebody who's in that scene recognized it and went, hey, you're right. The bartender in a comedy club or in a comedy scene, they see everybody.
Yeah.
So when they like you, you're like, all right, I must be doing something right because they see everyone who comes. There was a guy named Rob at Rascals. He was a bartender, and he always liked me, and he was always like, yeah, you're really funny, man. And that gave me confidence back then because every comic came through there. Yeah. And the fact that Rob thought I was funny meant something. You know what I mean? Like, that's like when other comics respect you.
Oh, yeah.
You feel like, fuck, I'm doing something right. Because the guys that are the hardest to make laugh or the most critical about it like what I'm doing.
Yeah, one night I was coming off stage and Bill Burr said something. I had to go on before him at the Dolby Theater, and I was so nervous. I never even